Okay, so it is officially after week 5. So this was definitely a very interesting week, to say the least. So that was my first full week of work, or not full week, but first week of work. Ended up traveling, which this was something I knew about in advance, which is why I had 4 drinking days, because I knew I had a wedding coming up. What I didn't know was that there was like I wouldn't call it like a bachelor party. It was like a slight kind of party for the groom the night before. It wasn't a party. We went out to dinner, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and I was one of the first people to arrive, even before the groom. So I ended up having like 2 drinks that night, and I will say when I set up the drink days, it was for real drinking, like a drink or 2 at dinner. Like that's not. I've never like do that anyway. But so I ended up having 2 drinks that night and then actually drinking at the wedding the next day. But I'm not counting that first day because it didn't affect my sleep. I stopped drinking probably 2 hours before I went to bed, if not more. So with all of that adding up, like it didn't really affect me. And the whole point of limiting the drinking was the calorie intake and the affecting my sleep and like gains and stuff. So because I didn't know about that, and I would have planned for that better if I had known, but because of that, I'm not really counting that one. So I had the wedding on Saturday, ate whatever I wanted because those are like my cheat days. Didn't eat too much before so that I could kind of try and compensate for the alcohol calories, but you're never going to fully be able to. I will say I was disappointed with myself on Sunday. I think I might have gone over. I wasn't really tracking because everyone else was making food for me, and then I was eating at the airport, and then my flight got like, I wouldn't say delayed, but like pushed back in the air. So I ended up getting home way later than I was expecting. So I didn't really get to eat what I wanted at all that day. So I feel like I went over that day. So to compensate for the extra little bit of drinking and just like my diet not being good this weekend, to compensate, I'm going to try and eat a lot less this week. I've been cutting at about 2,900 calories. I'm going to try and at least make my average for the week like 2,500 to get back on track, because obviously today was the first day back and my weigh-in was inevitably going to be higher, but I weighed in at like almost 204 pounds, which like some days last week I feel like 198, like 199. Those are the low days, but still. So I'm going to try and recalibrate and fix that, up the cardio a little bit this week to make up for last week. But overall, the knee strengthening has been a little weak. I've been doing a little bit lighter. I want to start doing more, but I just keep forgetting because I have the sled. I don't know if I showed you guys in the last video or whatever, but that I made at home. And if you want to see how I made that, I do have a full video for that. But I just always forget to do it. Like I leave the gym with the intention of doing it. I come home and then like I just immediately get in the shower and then I remember. And then at that point, like I just don't do it. So I still have been doing some stuff. I still do the tibialis raises, and I still do, every time I hit legs, I do a leg extension, static hold at the top with like, right now I'd say it's probably about like a third of the weight I do. So yeah, interesting week 5, a little disappointed, but not really. Like it wasn't really things I could have like planned for and done better with. So I guess it is what it is, and we'll make up for it this week. So yeah, I will catch you guys at the end of this week. Let you know how it went. Catch you there. Okay, so week 6 I think is over. Honestly, I think I'm starting to get sick, which kind of sucks. Like I have a sore throat, and I just don't really feel great in general. So that kind of sucks. In terms of what I did last week, though, I did a half Murph. That was pretty fun. If you don't know what a Murph is you run a mile, then you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and a 1 mile run. So I did the 1 mile run on both ends normally, but then I did it was half of that, so 50 pull-ups, 100 push-ups, and 150 air squats. I will say the air squats were deceivingly hard. Like it just was like, because it was such like almost endurance work at that point, it was just very difficult comparatively to like the other 2. Overall though, last week was a pretty easy week. I was working most of the week, got my lifts in. I did end up taking a rest day on Sunday because that's when Yeah, it was yesterday. That's when like the sore throat kind of started. So I just ended up taking a rest day. Plus, that was the day after I did the half Murph. So I figured I would just cool it for a day. Other than that, listen to another Huberman. The knee strengthening, I've been kind of weak with. Like I'm doing enough that like I can count it, but like I feel like I'm not really giving it what I should be. So I'm gonna try and get back to that this week, assuming I start feeling better, because I do not feel good right now. This is also like the end of the day for me. I'm recording this Monday night, and I've been up since 5 in the morning so I could work out and go to work, and it is like 6:30 right now. So I'm just exhausted. I'm sure tomorrow, just like waking up in general, I'll feel better. But yeah, pretty chill. Nothing. Honestly, that's pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoy. Or yeah, and I will catch you next Sunday. Wait, yeah, next Sunday. Okay, catch you there. Okay, so it is officially the end of week 3, I think. I'm honestly not even that sure. But last week was honestly pretty rough. I was sick for most of the week, so I ended up still getting everything done, but it was just definitely a little rough. I did use a rest day. I used my last drinking day because I went to the Giant game on Sunday, recording this on Tuesday. So pretty easy. I only have this week, and as I told you, I'm already recording this on Tuesday. So I have this week, and then I have it's only 4 days of the next week. It stops on Thursday because that's the second. That's the last day. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna record on Thursday or Friday, like recapping everything kind of, because I don't really see a point recording on Sunday and recording 3 days later. What I'm gonna do for next week is, because it's only half a week, I'm gonna do 1 run and 1 knee strengthening before Thursday, and because those are the only things I do twice a week. The Huberman, I'll probably try and listen to a Huberman, but honestly, as long as I get through at least half a Huberman, I'm cool with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm recording this right now. I guess I'll give you guys a little preview into next week before I go try the Impossible Mile again. So hopefully I can get that. I am counting that as one of my runs this week. Yeah, so not really sure how this is about to go. Excited, nervous, everything at the same time. So yeah, another easy week. I feel like nothing about this challenge is like incredibly hard, so we're just sticking with it and being consistent. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you at what'll be the last clip of this video. Catch you there. Okay, so our 60-day challenge is officially over, and hold on, I need to turn the camera. There we go. So this is the last 11 days. Everything was done. I ended up using 4 drinking days, 5 rest days total. That's what it was. I have a question mark here next to the walking because I can't remember what day. I think it was the day after the Giant game, but I don't know if that was in this. No, because that was in this video. I don't know what day it was, but there was one day where I completely just didn't get my steps in, and I don't remember why. I think maybe it was the day after the Impossible Mile. Maybe that's what it was. I can't remember which day it was. But I ended up only getting like 5,600 steps that day. So what I did was I just kind of upped everything for the rest of the week and tried to do a little bit extra and just made sure I hit everything. So I just counted that as like compensation for that. It's Friday now, by the way. So it's the day after the challenge. At the bottom here, you see I wrote the weight of the first day. I was 205.8 pounds. And I finished my lowest weight, which was, technically, it was the day of the final day, I think. It was 195.6. So that's about a 10-pound loss. But I also looked at my weights the days previous to starting the challenge, and I noticed like this was a low weigh-in. So I'm thinking I was more like, let's just say this was 206. So I'm thinking I was more like 208 pounds. Peak bulk before this cut, peak weight was 211, but like I was probably really about 210 because I think that 211 was a really high weigh-in because I had started cutting for like a week, I think, before I started this. So I'm gonna say I lost about 12 pounds during this and probably about 14 to 15 overall. So really happy with that. In the last clip, I did talk about doing the Impossible Mile. I was about to go do it. did end up doing it, and the video's already out, so I'll let you guys know that I did complete it, and I am so unbelievably proud of myself for doing that. Like, that is such a hard thing to do. And honestly, it wasn't even that bad. Like, could I have done a lot more? No. But could I have done a little more? Probably. Like, I didn't die out there, you know? I definitely could have done a tad more. It got really tough with those burpee broad jumps at the end, but we got those. So that's really the recap for the past 2 weeks. Overall, pretty proud of myself for getting through this, doing it, losing the 15 pounds, whatever. I do think I probably could have done a little bit more cardio throughout this, and I think I could have done better with the knee strengthening. I think those were 2 things that I didn't do perfectly, as other things I think I could have locked in a little more. And the diet, I was pretty consistent with it. Like, maybe I went over 100 calories sometimes, but I think I could have just paid more attention to like dropping it at the end, and I think I did a poor job of that. I'm really looking at the negatives of this right now because I'm just a perfectionist. But overall, I'm proud of what I did. Made a lot of progress here. So now we're about to start a bulk. Today was the first. I'm giving myself a couple days to just eat whatever, and then I'm gonna start truly tracking calories. And like, right now I'm just doing it in my head for a couple days, doing whatever. Probably do just the weekend, like so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then lock back in starting the week, probably around 3,200 calories, and start a bulk. So yeah, overall happy with this. Probably will do something somewhat similar in the future, maybe in the next couple months, I don't know, but that's pretty much it. This is honestly a great way to like lock in, lose some weight, and just like focus and kind of like get yourself locked in. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to try this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and catch you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Catch you there.